Hey there, it's Colin Fett, your agent here with your monthly market update. Every month I come to you with an analysis of what's going on in the market to keep you informed and ahead of the curve. So obviously, there's a lot of stuff going on right now, and there's a lot of unknowns. So I'm going to share with you the best I can with the data that we've got from the previous year, the previous months, and do my best to forecast what's going on. Usually the forecast is fairly easy because month after month we kind of follow similar to the previous months, but obviously there's some major economic stuff going on. Obviously, more than economic stuff going on. I was listening to a podcast this morning, and something that I wanted to share was they said, every day when you're in a boom, things are going good, you're one day closer to a bust, or you're in a bull market, you're one day closer to a bear market. And the other opposite is true too. When you're in a hard time or a bust or a bear market, every day is one day closer to back in the bull market and a better market, and that kind of thing. So I thought that was an insightful thing to hear, that every day we are one day closer to getting out of this. So anyway, diving into the numbers. So April market update. This is for the month of all the sales for the month of March leading up to April. So this is kind of projecting what April has to bring. So we had 81 new listings, which is right in line with the previous month. I think the biggest thing with these numbers is we were starting to see a tailing off the last 2 weeks, obviously, as businesses started to have to close. People are starting to stay home. We're really seeing things tailor off. And the biggest number that we see that on is the total number for sale. So I'll just pull up my mass spreadsheet here. It's kind of an interesting stat. So just for your information, I record, year after year, month after month, what these numbers look like. So April, this is the total number of active listings on the market. So usually we're sitting around 200. You can see throughout the year, the Ames market, we're a little over 200, a little under 200. 158 is the lowest besides February of 2018, so the lowest that we've seen. And so April, May last year we were 188. June we were at 211 for active listings. So what we're seeing is, and rightfully so, people are not putting their homes on the market. They're waiting for this to kind of subside for two reasons. One, from the economic standpoint, but then two, the health standpoint, having people come into their house. So I think we're going to see a decent effect on the number of pendings for the next month. For this month, March, we were actually up 18. So part of it too, I had a lot of people that were getting close to making an offer, doing something. They're like, let's get this under contract and moving forward before this gets really crazy. So I think we saw a little bit of a surge the past, not this last week, but the previous week, of people buying to just try to get stuff under contract. Year-to-date units, we're at 104. Average sale price, we're still around that 250. Average days on market, right at 2 months. So this is an interesting stat. So I get this question asked a lot of me is, are we in a seller's market? Are we in a buyer's market? Oh, I want to wait for a buyer's market. And something to note is that there are sellers that have to sell right now. They got job transfer 3 months ago and they just moved out. Their house needs to sell. And so I've seen it already. A couple sellers, we're seeing quite a few price reductions, and sellers being more lenient, offering flexible closing dates, because I think we're going to enter a little bit more of a buyer's market, at least in the short term. And a good way to look at this is, if you have the ability to buy and you wanted to buy, and you're not necessarily taking advantage of the situation, you're helping solve a problem for the seller. So there's sellers that have to sell, and if you come along and they're taking a $5,000 or $10,000 price reduction from what they were planning on doing, which I've again seen already in a couple of offers that we've made, got accepted, is you're relieving that stress from them, and then they know they're under contract, they've got it closed, they maybe don't live in the area anymore, they had to move away. So those 58 homes, I think we're seeing 158 homes. A lot of those are more ready to sell. But at the same time, it's not a full-blown buyer's market where we're seeing a ton of inventory hanging on. Who knows what will bring? Obviously, if this lasts longer, we don't know. Another analogy I heard on a podcast that I thought was fitting, and hopefully kind of how things work, is you imagine a garden hose. You got the garden hose kinked. Everybody basically just stopped 2-3 weeks ago when this all started, and eventually that garden hose is going to open up and water is going to surge out. So we might see a deal where these months that are busier, so when I go to pendings, so April, May, and March are the 3 highest statistical pending months. I bet we see this April drop down quite a bit, probably May drop down quite a bit, but then June and July, rather than being slower months, might pop up and be one of the busier pending months. So I thought that was a good analogy. Another nice thing is, obviously, we're pretty insulated here in central Iowa. We don't have a lot of travel market as far as our local economy. So I'm not an economist, but those are just the things that I'm seeing. At the end of the day, we're going to get out of it. If your home's on the market, you're thinking about putting your home on the market, properties are still selling, things are still happening. It's just happening a little bit delayed. So that's the market update. Last closing note, we're still open for business. The governor's deemed real estate as an essential part of the local, or as the Iowa economy. So everybody's still working. We're all doing it remotely, either from home, or I've been doing a ton of virtual showings where we're on a video like this. We walk through the home, and we can narrow down the search. So if you are looking to buy and you're thinking summer, or you're in a lease and you need to buy before July, we can do video tours, and there's nothing saying that you can't sit at home and I walk around the property. Everybody stays safe, and then before you make the offer, even make the offer contingent upon you touring the property, just to see if we're going to have a accepted deal. You get an accepted offer. Next day, you schedule a tour it. Yep, it checks out. It actually looks like what the video looked like, and we move forward with pending on the property. So anyway, those are the stats. A little bit longer one this month, but a little bit more to share. Obviously, I hope everyone stays safe, stays healthy, stays home, and has a great day.